This is our coldest moment of the week segment, just so you guys know. It's brought to you by Yeti. Okay. So I always ask the guys that are with us for the coldest moment from this past week or in their career. So we got Jaden Mickey, JD Bertrand. I think we know what Jaden's coldest moment of the week was this past week. You want to tell me, though, JD, what you thought going through your head when you saw him make that pick six?
I was excited. I mean, the biggest thing is, like, I think he had a similar play earlier on, and so he knew if they came back with the same routes and same coverage, like, he was about to get it. And so I think all of us knew, looking at on the sideline, like, if they came back to either corner with that same route, same route concept, like, it was a pick six. And so he made it happen.
Jaden, I saw the play. It was, when was it? Was it first quarter, second quarter, where you went for the pick and didn't get it, but you were close?
Oh, yeah.
When you went for that, were you thinking the next time I'm going to do it?
I think it happened in every quarter. I think it was first or second quarter, and then it happened again coming out of halftime, and then I ended up getting it the third time. So
Third one's a charm.
When was the last time you got into the end zone in your football career?
Probably a kick return or something in high school.
Okay.
So
you feel pretty good?
Yeah, it felt good to be back.
What about JD? You've played with him now for a couple of years. What's the coldest moment that comes to mind when you think about playing with him?
I always admire him fitting the gaps because as a linebacker, sometimes you just got to plug the gap, and you got to plug the gap with guards and tackles, and they're 300 pounds, and, you're not. So I always admire how good he is at plugging the gap. So I always watch that.
You said you admire him as a linebacker, so we got to settle a debate. Cam Hart came here, maybe a month ago now. He said he thinks corner is the hardest position. He said he was harder than quarterback. Now, Coach Freeman had a disagreement with him. Let's just talk defense, and you guys can debate this if you want. What's the hardest position on the defensive side of the ball?
Throw corner out there.
You think corner?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll give that up to
I'll give
corner.
it, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely
Just
corners.
technique-wise, like, they're just out there by themselves. They don't have help. Versus everyone else, you have that second level. And we were talking about actually the other day, like, me, Cam, a couple other guys, and we were saying, like, well, what's the hardest part of your job? I think, were you in there for that?
No.
Okay, it was what's the hardest part of your job? And, like, DJ was saying, like, that open field tackle when there's past the first two levels and there's 20 yards of space and you got to get it down.
Yeah.
And Cam was saying, like, cover zero from, like, an apex position, and now you got to go cover. And so we've had these discussions before and these debates, and I think the all-around answer might be corner.
Yeah, it's definitely corner. And I'm going to have to agree with Cam on it's the hardest position on the football field. But it's a lot of things you have to do mentally and physically to prepare for the game. And then to go out there, everybody's watching your position, whether it's you versus a receiver, like when Ben went against Marv, everybody's eyes on Marv and Ben. So everybody can see your mistakes. Everybody can see when you succeed as well. So it's rewarding, but it's risky as well. So.
And he was saying, too, like, you can play 70 good snaps, but if you get beat on 71 and 72, that's all they're talking about, right?
Exactly. One play, it changed the entire game. So,
I want to ask about when you are in cover zero, like you said. Like, do you get excited? Do you get nervous? If you know you're on an island, what goes through your head?
See, honestly, I think this question has changed over my career here. Okay. At first, when you get here, you're like, okay, cover zero. I have no help anywhere. It's me versus him. But then you think about the guys helping you blitzing. So it's like, okay, he got 2.5 seconds to throw the ball. I got to stop the dude for 2.5 seconds, and this is where you make your plays. So this is where you show up, cover zero, let's play ball. So
your perspective changed.
Yeah, it definitely did.
I thought some of those picks that Xavier had this past week were created by the defensive line up front, right? You guys talk about that, how there's coverage sacks, right? And then I think there's also pressure picks. Did you get that sense?
There's a big emphasis, like, when we come in, I mean, I'm sure today when we go into the meeting room, like, as a whole unit, we watch all those picks, but we watch what are other guys doing, what are they doing to help make that happen. Like, are guys putting their hands up in the quarterback's face? Like, are we getting hits on the quarterback? And just kind of being able to remind everyone, like, when we're looking at film, like, everyone has their role. And if someone's not doing their role, he's not getting his pick and the other 4 picks as well. So
where's the vibe right now defensively? Because you guys have 10 takeaways in the last 2 weeks. I think you guys are playing about as good as you could play, right? Like, it's pretty close to perfect. I know you guys still want to keep reaching your potential, but, like, let's be real. Is the vibe pretty good in the defensive room right now?
Yeah, I'd say it is. I mean, the captain could talk more about it.
I mean, I think just when we step out on the field, like, we know that we can stop any team that's out there. And whether it's the Heisman winning quarterback from last year or just a good all-around team that has every single aspect that's to the top level. Like, we really think that we can come out there and compete with every single team. And so it's kind of funny because offense and defense, like, we're one team, but almost like we just look at it a lot of times as a whole picture. Just, okay, defense, like, what can we do to win this game? And we feel like we can take over the game defensively, and so that's what we're trying to do, obviously.
Yeah, to add on to what he said, like, I think our coaching staff, whether it's Coach Golden and for me, Coach Mickens, has been preparing me as far as knowing where your help is, knowing what's around you.
Yeah.
So, like, on my pick, I know the blitz is coming off the edge. I know he's probably going to throw into the blitz. So things like that, preparing us throughout the week and just allowing us to be one unit on the football field, it's been great.
I want to follow up because I'm going to ask Coach Freeman about it later too, but Coach Mickens, what's he like? What's it like to play for him?
I love playing for Coach Mickens. He talks a lot of mess. That's what he said when he was back in the day. So, and that's a little bit what I do. So, a lot of talking. Yeah, a lot of talking, a lot of personality, but he loves to compete. And I think that's where we're closest is I hate to lose and I love to win, and it's the same with Coach Mickens. I love playing for him. I think the rest of the DBs will say the same.
Yeah. I want to ask you a different question, kind of shift a little bit. I know this has been a tough time for you and your family. Heard you talk about it with what your mom's going through. So I guess to the extent that you could share just how is she doing, what's going on with her, and how did you feel this weekend when you got into the end zone? Because I know you mentioned her after the game.
Yeah, I was just home this past bye week, spent a little time with her. She's doing good. She's spending time with us, her family, for whatever time she has left. But it was fun getting into that end zone because that's what I've been waiting on. Like, I want my mom to see me, have this moment, whether it's down here or in heaven, whatever it may be. But I just couldn't wait for it, and that point to the sky also meant a lot to me too. Being able to glorify God on that stage, and I pray before every game. And one thing I say is, here we are again, Lord. I've been saying this since high school. This moment, whether it comes to me or not, I give it all to you, and it was big.
I appreciate you sharing that. What's it been like to be on this team? How's this team, the staff, your teammates, have they helped you while it's been a tough time for you and your family? It's
the culture. I know Coach Freeman says it all the time. Everybody says about Notre Dame. It's the culture. Being around guys that are like-minded, want to succeed on and off the field. Just being in a locker room full of good character guys, it's helped me on and off the field. I
want to ask you, JD, because I think I talked to you last year about how you help in the community. I think this team does a great job of putting football in the right perspective. When you see what someone like Jaden's gone through, a teammate, what goes through your mind? What have you guys done as a team to try to rally around him or anybody that's gone through something tough?
I think the biggest thing is just how can we help? And some guys need space. Some guys need us to step away, but a lot of guys just want to have that day-to-day interaction and just still be able to smile with the guys, still be able to mess around. And this dude's in the locker room. We have a little basketball hoop, and I swear every single time I'm leaving the locker room, he's in there arguing with someone about who's winning this game, who's winning that game, and knockout and that kind of stuff. And so just kind of getting those times where you kind of just step away and just be one of the guys and kind of just make sure that you're having fun with your boys and those kind of things. And I think he'd probably attest to that.
Did you play basketball in high school?
No.
No? But you still beat everybody in knockout?
Yeah, just like to compete.
Okay, just like to compete. I got you. Yeah. I'll get you out of here, talk some football. Let's talk about this upcoming week. Obviously a huge game. You get a chance to go to one of the toughest environments in the country. I'll start with you, JD, then we'll let Jaden get it out of here. What's the key? What are you guys focused on as you get ready for Clemson?
Yeah, obviously just Clemson in general. There's always going to be that hype, and we're excited. And honestly, it's my first time going to Clemson. I think it makes basically everyone's first time in 8 years. Yeah, so everyone's excited for that part. But obviously it just goes back to us, I think. That's the biggest thing. And so looking at this last Pittsburgh game, looking at the game before that, where can we get better? And I think our coaches have done a great job coming off the bye week, pointing out, hey, a lot of our scores have come from penalties. Let's make sure we don't beat Notre Dame. And so just those kind of things, make sure that, penalties at corner, they're going to happen at times. You're going to misjump for the ball, but the little things before the snap, not jumping off the ball, not jumping off sides and those kind of things. And so how do we do that? It starts with practice. And so making sure that we're practicing the best possible, and making sure that our practice, our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday practice is better than Clemson's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday practice.
What about you, Jaden?
Yeah, like JD said, it's about us. There's a lot of plays that were made this last Saturday, but there's a lot of plays left out there. and I got to do a better job. And I know there's probably other guys out there that know they have to do their job better at certain times. And I always say 100%ers got to be 100%ers. There's some things you have to do that are going to be 100%. You have to set the edge sometimes. You have to contain outside. You have to fit the gap a certain way every time, no matter what. So I think making sure that the 100%ers are 100% and just building off that every day this week until Saturday.
All right. I appreciate you coming by. We'll let you get out of here. We'll bring Coach Freeman in.
Sounds good.